Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 99. Let's check it out. Alright. Got a whole bunch of stuff, but not a lot of stuff. It's one of those turns, right? So let's just see how it goes. We can already see some stuff immediately. We'll get there. Voice of Apsu found nothing. No Malor found nothing. Usariku's Aspects found nothing. We did Curse of Blood. Absu found nothing. Flame Spirit. This Flame Spirit was attacked. We'll watch the fight. We already saw that. Watch the fight. We've got the Horror, and it just blinked. He's up against Flame 1. Ooh, nice. Also, interesting, I forgot that Flame Spirit summoned Will-O-Wisps at the start of the battle, and this guy actually summoned a lot of them. Which is an interesting supplement. And then out comes a Fire Elemental. And down goes the Horror. It seems like as long as the Horror doesn't pop on the Flame Spirits, we have a decent chance. No Malor finds nothing. Nazar the second casts Call Apkalu, and then promptly gets attacked. Promptly gets attacked by Rarku yet again. We've killed this guy so many fucking times. That's, I don't know, that's kind of annoying from a game standpoint, right? That these big named horrors just have infinite lives, right? I guess gods technically have infinite lives because you can just keep calling them back, so I guess that's fair. But I feel like it would be a more interesting scenario, right? If killing one of the big named I think there should probably be more of the big named horrors, right? Because I think there's only like 3, 4 maybe. So that would be interesting to have more of them. But when they die, don't make it permanent or anything like that, but make it, give them a cooldown. Because I've literally fought Rarku, killed him, and in the same turn fought him again, and killed him. But this turn is not the same as the others. For one, we have no people with us, which is unfortunate. Petrify coming out, so we only do Strength of Gaia, and then did we actually get a Petrify off? Rip of Flesh. We close, start swinging. Never Healing Wound, Chest Wound. 6. I mean, we already kind of know what happens, which is unfortunate, really. So he has this attack, Consume Soul, right? Which is a magic resistance negate. It's just, so we know our god got Soul Slayed, so we know this has to be the thing. It's just very unfortunate that we actually get Soul Slayed with 28 magic resist. Love you, boo-boo. We get hits. We're smack-a-lackin', and this goes back to that scenario, right, where our god, I think this is actually the right call, right, because I think if we didn't have, like, having more regeneration is nice, but we need to be able to hit the things to kill the things. Right now, that's a severe problem. Because if we were hitting Rarku every hit, he'd be dead by now. We're crippled, we're in darkness, so we have a lot of malices to our attack, which is really unfortunate. If we had Gift of Health up, we would not have all these malices. But here's the thing, like, we would totally win in the long run if it weren't for, actually a big hit, chunky hit. Okay, we're back up to 18. God, this fight is taking a long time. It's a wet noodle fight. It's not actually a wet noodle fight. We're actually doing a fair amount of damage, but he heals a bunch off of his lifesteal, and I just have super regen, so... Oofa doofa. Well, it's kind of a wet noodle fight from my point of things. Ah, I am now feeble-minded. Ah. Oh my god. Fucking game. My god. It's gonna happen eventually, I promise. I didn't actually watch this fight when I was doing the turn. I just saw that I'd been soul slayed and moved on. I was just like, alright, well, that's a thing. And there it goes. Alright, so just quite suddenly, you know, I mean, in fairness, this has been going off the entire fight. It's just something that we can't really see, right? So he keeps using this every turn on us. So in reality, like, I'm not really mad about it. It was very unlikely for this to succeed, but when you do it 80 times, you know, eventually one's gonna roll high, and that's what happened. Eventually he just rolled really high, and boom, beat our 28. So Nazar II has been soul slayed. He can never come back to this world, except he's a god, so we'll just call him back, it's fine. Alright, Gnome Lore found nothing. Goody 77 was attacked and killed. Summoned some Kusurikus. Prospects, nothing. Voice of Apsu, nothing. And we talked about this. This is kind of interesting, right? So I talked about how Kromna in the Battle of Mclean was sent to hell via Infernal Prison. And I don't know the exact mechanics of that, but I know that in theory, an individual is supposed to be able to fight their way back out of hell or Kokitas or wherever they get sent, right? But they get attacked repeatedly in that process. And most people will just die, obviously. But Kromna is not most people. So, she is in hell. There's heat from hell going on, which that is a concern. But fortunately, she's got some reinvigoration, so hopefully that will help. Now, she does this is kind of in the same vein of how a assassination battle works. So she's not going to listen to us, right? She's just going to do whatever the AI thinks is best. So she does stuff like cast Iron Warriors, which is really dumb, right? And the AI should know better. You're casting Iron Warriors on a single target. Just cast Iron Skin. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Regardless, she's up against a whole bunch of imps. But this is probably going to be nothing. So she's up to 32 protection. And she casts Temper Flesh. She actually... Oh, she prepares to cast it. Does she get it off? She does get the Temper Flesh off. Awesome. So now she has 32 protection with Temper Flesh up. And these guys only do 9 damage on their claw. It's extremely unlikely that they're gonna hurt her. And she's got multiple very strong attacks, and remember, she does 109 damage. She does triple damage against demons with her Holy Scourge, and it's got 2 attacks per turn. So, Kromna's gonna fuck. It takes her just a few swings. Every swing she goes for, she kills a couple imps. And then all of the imps basically are like, nope, fuck this. and they peace out. This is actually really interesting. I would be very interested to see Kromna continue to do some fights like this and see what we end up facing. That's kind of fun to me. But also, it'd be cool if she could get some experience to level up her stats. That'd be pretty sweet. So we will have to keep an eye out for Kromna in Hell. Blood Hunters have captured 22 Blood Slaves, and we got a host of attacks. Gala 56 attacked, Scout 15 attacked, Gala 46 attacked, and Gala 55 attacked. There's a battle in Trottern. And note, Trottern is not where we attacked. Trottern is actually where we came from, with a small group of individuals. So we can see that this is the party from the north of Mclean. So he moved this from the north of Mclean to the east of Mclean. So he's got a bunch of them just casting spells. Really a whole lot going on. Because I don't think they have, like, gems or anything like that. So they're just trying to, like, buff themselves up as much as they possibly can. You know, like, this guy, this high priest, is trying to, like, fire shield and Phoenix Pyre and stuff. And this Lala Q is trying to, like, do a whole bunch of buffs. Which is relatively unnecessary. Because we didn't really have anything. Okay. And we have taken control of High Woods. We met no resistance, so High Woods is the fortress to the south of Mclean. Talk more about what's going on there. 3,000 people in Asinon have thrown themselves into the Blood Vortex. Go to province. Asinon is... I don't even fucking know. Like, I don't know what that means. There's like a... say there was like a... I might be thinking of like Paradox games where there's like a province lookup, you know? Like you can search for a province by name. I don't think that exists in Dominions. I don't know. But I don't know where it comes up. I've never seen... I feel like maybe these are just randomly generated names, like, oh, this is the name of a town in this province, or this is... have you, right? But... Mclean continues, the Blood Vortex continues, so we know the Astral Corruption continues. Let's look at our unexpected events. We got some people in Monarch Woods, cool. We lost our lab in Pangea, that's actually really annoying. The woods of the Fairy Court have been burned by a local lord, so drain, death, misfortune, but some air gems. Deadly disease is continuing to spread in Titan's Breath and continuing to spread in Troll Peaks. So Titan's Breath here, Troll Peaks here. It was in Hall Woods, but then it stopped being. So I don't really know what that scenario is. And then the fortification to High Woods has been breached, etc., etc. So let's take a look at what's actually going on. So we've been chasing his god. We won the battle in Mclean. We moved down to High Woods. He moved from Swande down into Trottern. I don't really care about this party. But we can see his god has fled. Has taken what his remains, and his god has fled to the south into Hinom lands. And this is like, Mclean is making it difficult for us. Like, at the very least, Mclean is, and I gotta respect that. Like, absolutely, good job on you. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. I want Astral Corruption done, but I do have to respect the player for making it such a painful process to go through. So, congratulations. Good on you. Fuck me. You might notice that we are not chasing into 62. That's because I have spoken with Hinom, and Hinom has said that they are going to send someone after this stack. We've kind of like, we've broken the back of Mclean's power, the big block, the big doom stack. So Hinam is going to send some peeps in and see if he can't finish it off. Fingers crossed to him. We, in the meantime, are going to be storming the castle of the High Woods, right? This place is just destroyed from the Blood Vortex, by the way. Like, I mean, it's a forest, and it doesn't look exceedingly large. Like, there's no houses or anything like that, so it's probably always been kind of whatever. But I'm betting that it was not this bad to begin with. And it's just a trash province now. Like, I'm not a fan of Blood Vortex. I think the more I play this game, right, the more I realize that I do have a style, and I just prefer, I seemingly prefer more scales-oriented play. And I don't like harming my provinces. And I don't like it when other people harm their provinces, right? I hate it when people either pillage their provinces down, or when they blood hunt their provinces to hell and back, or when, you know, they're a death nation, that type of stuff. Like, for me, I love for this game, I love the getting high population, watching your income suddenly start to skyrocket and shit like that. You know, that's really fun to me. So when I see the opposite happening, I'm like, oh, this is so bad. No, I don't like it. Anyways, we're storming High Woods. We didn't have a battle, so we don't really have anything that we needed to change. We did alter this slightly, though. I pulled some people out of our bodyguard stance and put them on hold and attack. This is so in case we get into a battle and it's legitimately weak to the point to where people don't like summon units like elementals or things like that. If that happens, then we could get into kind of like a weird sticky situation where, again, our communion tries to kill themselves because they feel like they have to spam out 50,000 phantasmal warriors, which is bonkers. But so this is just an attack force to go forward and try to deal with whatever is there. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. And honestly, I don't really know what's gonna happen from here. Hopefully, Hinam will catch and kill Ozzy Osbourne, and then I was pretty serious about not really caring about Mclean's lands. I plan to just kind of march my ass back towards Pangaea if I am allowed to do so, and be done with that, right? Because this is so exposed, right? Then I plan to just walk on, if at all possible. Fucking, I want my damn verdant step back. Longer! So that's kind of what's going on over in Mclean. This is just some Elder movement because we got pushed out of Trotturn. This is just some Elder movement because we're done in Thorn Woods. In fact, fuck it. We've got some spare coin. Just boost a couple places. It's to 20. I probably should have done Pan. So we are building a lab in Pan, and we've got all of these people on Call God, and then we've got basically the entirety of Kohnberg on Call God. This is way overkill. This is like 70 or 80 points. This is unnecessary. But honestly, I didn't really want to do the math, and it tanks my research by like 500. So this is kind of me being very callous and not caring. Which is not good. I should care. But, I don't know. It's whatever. And then, otherwise, this is a very stale turn. We're just recruiting in all of our locations like we have been. And that's about it. So, let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening in the capital. That's the only interesting. We're continuing to summon flame spirits. At this point, our ratio is pretty good. At this point, our ratio is pretty good. on success, so I'm okay with continuing to try to get some more flame spirits in here. We're not gonna go for much more. I don't think I really want to push past like 300 fire gems, and we're kind of going. I mean, that's gonna take us a while anyways, because flame spirits are only 30 and we get 24 per turn, right? So, but we're gonna keep doing that. Again, this is kind of like this scenario of establishing a base. As soon as astral corruption is down, we can do things like boost, or we can, we can do a lot of different. We'll have to see how that goes. In other news, we have our first. We talked about this a long time ago. This was a way for us to do some interesting options and break into. I say break into, but get further into Astral. This is an Umu Apkalu, right? Naturally an Astral 4 with a whole bunch of other paths. Air 3, Water 3, Earth 2, Nature 2, Priest 2. So these guys are pretty phenomenal casters. And they're not bad in the stat line. They're not like crazy super combatants or anything like that, but you can have them do some interesting stuff if you are willing to risk them. The problem being is that they are just incredibly expensive. 60 astral pearls is a fucking lot to ask, but we have, now that we have one, we can have more, right? And we do have an okay astral income at this point in the game. 20 pearls is not phenomenal, but it's better than what we've had. So every 3 turns we could have another Apkalu, which is pretty decent. We could send these and have them as a part of our communions and have them be able to access some other stuff kind of easier. More specifically, these guys are quite capable of running into a scenario where they can do Master and Slave. So, typically something along the lines of doing. Where the fuck is it? Time stop. So start off a battle with Communion Master, which already at this point, right? Just Communion Master in one of our basic communions would put this guy at Astral 9. Which I believe is... Yeah, you only need 8 to do Master and Slave. So immediately he'd be Communion Master, Astral 9. He would be able to do Time Stop. And then... So the whole point of Time Stop is basically... You don't have to do Time Stop. It's just to try to limit what all the enemy can do while you're prepping the Master and Slave. Or at least that's my understanding of it. But I don't know that it's necessary or anything like that. But that's kind of like, these guys can do some crazy shit. But that's kind of like one of the big things is that they can do like Master and Slave. With just a... With a little bit of rigging, right? We can get the Umu Apkalus up to Wish territory, which we already have. So, it's just a matter of getting there. So, what we would need is we would need to forge a... This is just a moment. We would need to forge a Ring of Sorcery or Ring of Wizardry, and then we would need something else like I don't know that we have access to anything. Oh, double check. Because it's eluding me. There's a couple of other boosts, but I do not remember what all they are. In battle boosters, but we're not talking about this. We are looking for Busto. So we've got the Starshine Skullcap already. We've got the Crystal Coin. The other thing is the Dimensional Rod, which I think has already been... And that's a unique item. Yeah, this item already exists. So I'm assuming Hinam already grabbed that. It could be Lanka, but I haven't seen Lanka with unique items. I haven't seen Lanka with much, because I haven't seen a lot of Lanka. So someone else already has the Dimensional Rod, which means the only things we have access to are the Starshine Skullcap, Crystal Coin. We have those already. Ring of Sorcery and Ring of Wizardry. Ring of Sorcery and Ring of Wizardry and Crystal Coin. Those are all three miscellaneous slots, so we can't stack them up, right? So right now what we would probably just do is we would make a Ring of Sorcery, which would push us up to Astral 7, and then we'd have to boost twice, which is expensive as fucking all get out. It's 75 Astral Pearls for the first one. That's super expensive. But the long con, the payoff for it is being able to do Wish consistently. I don't know if that's necessarily something that we want to do immediately. It might behoove us to have, like, it might be better for us to just have more Umu Apkalus instead of, you know, because I don't think there's a limit on, like, the Umu Apkalus. I think there's not like 5 of them or anything like that. I think they're, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. There might be a limit on them. And if that's the case, then it might be worthwhile to get to that limit and then see what we want to do. Regardless, though, that's the only other real interesting thing that's happening, or that has happened this turn. We're calling a god. We're taking High Woods, and then we're hoping that Hinam kills Ozzy Osbourne. In fact, could totally send in the hopes. Well, if he magic phases, we're not going to be able to see it. But otherwise, we'll send a scout after, try to see what we can see. Okay, that's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.